Love comes in many forms. But sometimes, the hardest love to confess is the one closest to our hearts. This is a story of friendship, fear, and the courage to embrace one's true feelings. If you've ever struggled with unspoken emotions or feared losing someone you cherish, this story is for you. Stay with us as we take you on a journey of self-discovery, vulnerability, and the power of love. Blank. _ blank. This is a story I never thought I'd share. It was just an ordinary evening. But what happened next is something I'll never forget. It all started when Liam, my straight best friend, decided to crash at my place after a late-night gym session. We had been friends forever, since middle school, and while I'd always kept my feelings for him buried deep, being around him had become part of my life. The night began as usual: pizza, video games, and endless teasing about who could lift more at the gym. Liam had a way of lighting up a room. His laugh was contagious, and his confidence made everyone want to be around him. But tonight, something about him felt different. Liam had always been the kind of guy who was effortlessly comfortable in his own skin. He would joke about anything, throw an arm around my shoulder without thinking twice, and never seemed to notice the way I stiffened at his touch. But something about tonight felt off. Maybe it was the way his eyes lingered on me when I laughed, or how he seemed more thoughtful than usual. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something had shifted. "Hey, do you mind if I grab a quick shower?" Liam asked, stretching out on the couch, his shirt riding up slightly to reveal his toned abs. I swallowed hard, trying to focus on the TV. "Yeah, sure. Towels are in the bathroom cabinet." Liam got up, flashing me his usual grin. "You're the best." As he disappeared down the hall, I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. My mind was racing, memories flashing back to all the years we'd spent together. The first time I realized I had feelings for him had been in high school, when he had defended me from a group of guys making fun of me for being different. He had thrown an arm around me that day and said, "He's with me. Got a problem with that?" That was the moment I knew I was in trouble. But I had never let myself think about it too much. Liam was straight. He had dated girls, talked about them in that casual, easy way guys like him did. And I had nodded along, pretending it didn't sting, pretending it didn't make me wonder if he would ever see me the way I saw him. I ran a hand through my hair and forced myself to focus on the game on the screen. This was just another night. Nothing was going to happen. I needed to stop overthinking. Then I heard the water running. The sound sent an involuntary shiver down my spine. I tried to ignore the thoughts creeping into my mind, the steam curling around his body, the water trailing down his skin. I clenched my jaw, shaking my head. "Get a grip," I told myself. "He's your best friend. End of story." And yet, as I sat there, controller in hand, heart pounding for reasons I didn't want to admit, I had a sinking feeling that tonight was going to change everything. I heard the shower turn on, the sound of water running masking my nervous thoughts. I tried to focus on the game on the screen, but my attention kept drifting. My heart raced as I imagined him just a few feet away, the steam from the shower swirling around him. I shook my head, trying to snap myself out of it. I adjusted my position on the couch, my fingers tightening around the controller. The game was nothing but a distraction at this point. My focus was elsewhere, on the thoughts I kept pushing down. on the feelings I had spent years burying. Just then, the sound of Liam humming a tune drifted through the slightly open bathroom door. It was something he always did when he was relaxed, and it made me smile despite myself. He had no idea how much his small, unconscious habits affected me. I exhaled deeply, running a hand through my hair. This was stupid. I needed to get a grip. But just as I was about to force myself to concentrate on the screen, Liam's voice interrupted my thoughts. "Hey man, can you grab me a towel? I forgot to get one." I froze. My stomach clenched, and my heart hammered against my ribcage. Yeah, sure." I pushed myself up, trying to act normal as I walked toward the hallway, grabbing a fresh towel from the cabinet. I hesitated outside the bathroom door. The warmth of the steam seeped through the crack, filling the hallway with the scent of Liam's soap, a mix of mint and something woodsy. It was intoxicating. "Just come in," Liam said casually. I hesitated. "You sure?" "Yeah, it's no big deal. You're acting like we've never been in a locker room before." He had a point. We had shared locker rooms countless times before. But this felt different, more personal. The air was thick with something unspoken, and I couldn't tell if it was just in my head or if Liam felt it too. Swallowing hard, I pushed the door open slightly. The steam hit me instantly, wrapping around me like a heavy mist. Liam stood behind the curtain, his silhouette barely visible through the hazy glass. "Thanks, man," he said, reaching his hand out from behind the curtain. As I passed him the towel, our fingers brushed for a fleeting second. The brief contact sent a jolt up my spine. "No problem," I said, my voice slightly shaky. Liam must have noticed because his voice took on a teasing tone. "You good?" "Yeah," I said quickly, stepping back toward the door. "I'll let you finish." But just as I turned to leave, Liam's voice stopped me in my tracks. "Hey, wait." I froze, my fingers tightening around the doorframe. "Yeah?" There was a moment of silence before Liam spoke again, his voice softer this time. "You've been acting weird lately. Is something going on?" I swallowed hard, my throat suddenly dry. "What?" "No, I'm fine." Liam stepped closer, the water dripping from his hair and running down his chest. "Come on, man, I know you better than that. You've been avoiding eye contact all night. Did I do something to piss you off?" "No," I said quickly, forcing myself to look away. "It's not you. It's nothing." Liam tilted his head, studying me. "If it's nothing, why are you blushing?" I felt my face heat up even more. "I'm not." He smirked, stepping even closer. "You are. What's going on?" I clenched my fists, my heartbeat erratic. I couldn't do this. Not here. Not now. But before I could come up with an excuse to leave, Liam's expression changed. His smirk softened into something almost curious. And that's when I knew he had noticed something too. I pushed the door open, the warm steam hitting me like a wave. Liam stood in the shower. The curtain pulled halfway closed, revealing just enough of his upper body to make my breath hitch. "Thanks, man," he said, reaching out for the towel. His hand brushed mine as he took it. And for a moment, I couldn't move. "No problem," I managed to say, my voice shaky. Liam must have noticed. His expression shifted, curiosity replacing his usual playful smirk. He studied my face, his blue eyes narrowing slightly. "You okay?" I hesitated, my heart hammering in my chest. "Yeah, just distracted. His gaze didn't waver. He leaned slightly against the tiled wall, the water still running down his chest. You sure? You've been off all night. I bit my lip, debating whether to keep up the charade or finally admit the truth. I had spent years hiding how I felt. But in that moment, standing there in the humid air, everything felt dangerously close to the surface. Before I could decide what to say, Liam's voice softened. Is it about me? I froze. My breath caught in my throat as his question hung between us, heavier than the steam in the room. The moment of truth had finally arrived, and there was no turning back. The silence stretched, the tension thick between us. My heart pounded so loudly I was sure he could hear it. Finally, I exhaled, my voice barely above a whisper. Yeah, it is. Liam's expression didn't change. Instead, he reached for the edge of the shower curtain and pulled it open just a little more, meeting my gaze with something unreadable in his eyes. Tell me. Silence stretched between us, thick with tension, the steam from the shower curling in the air like a fog neither of us could see through. My heart pounded in my chest, a frantic rhythm of fear and anticipation. Liam's eyes, usually so full of mischief, were serious now, searching, waiting. Tell me, he said again, his voice softer this time, almost hesitant. I swallowed hard, my fingers gripping the towel I had handed him like a lifeline. This was it. There was no turning back. I had two choices. I could bury this moment like I had buried my feelings for years. Or I could finally be honest. I took a shaky breath. Liam, my voice faltered, the weight of my emotions pressing against my throat. I've had feelings for you for a long time. His expression didn't change, but I saw the slight parting of his lips, the way his fingers clenched slightly around the edge of the shower curtain. He didn't speak, so I kept going before I lost my nerve. I tried to ignore it. I continued, my words tumbling out now, raw and unfiltered. I told myself it didn't matter, that you were straight, that we were just friends. But it never went away. Liam exhaled slowly, his breath visible in the thick steam. How long? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. I laughed softly, but it was tinged with sadness. Since high school. He looked away for a moment, as if processing, before finally meeting my gaze again. Why didn't you tell me? I shook my head. Because I was scared. Scared of ruining everything. Scared of losing you. I swallowed the lump in my throat. And because I didn't think you'd ever feel the same way. For a long time, he didn't respond. I could feel my own pulse throbbing in my ears, the anticipation eating away at me. And then, finally, he did something I never expected. Liam reached out, fingers brushing against my arm, his touch feather light. I don't know what this means, he admitted, his voice full of something I couldn't quite name. I've never thought about it before. But I don't want to lose you either. I stared at him, my breath catching. What are you saying? He hesitated, then took a step closer, the space between us shrinking. I'm saying I don't want to pretend nothing's changed. I don't want to push this away just because it scares me. A small, shaky laugh escaped me. That sounds a lot like you're not saying no. Liam's lips quirked into a small smile, one that didn't quite reach his eyes. I'm saying, I need time to figure this out. I nodded, my heart still pounding but lighter somehow. That's okay, I whispered. I can wait. He smiled again, this time a little more sure of himself. Good. And as the steam swirled around us, as we stood there with years of unspoken emotions finally out in the open, I realized that for the first time in forever, I felt like I could breathe. The days that followed were different, charged with an energy I couldn't quite explain. We didn't speak about what had happened in the bathroom that night, but something had undeniably shifted between us. Liam hadn't pulled away. If anything, he had become more present in my life. The casual touches, the lingering eye contact, the way he listened more intently, it was as if he was searching for something within himself, trying to understand what this new reality meant for him. One evening, we sat on my balcony, the city lights flickering in the distance. Liam leaned back against the railing, his fingers drumming against his thigh. "I've been thinking," he said finally, his voice quiet but steady. I turned to him, my stomach tightening. "Yeah?" He exhaled slowly. "I don't know what I am, but I know I don't want to push you away." I searched his face, my pulse quickening. "You don't have to have all the answers right now." He nodded, staring into the night. I want to see where this goes." A warmth spread through me. Cautious but hopeful. "Me too." A small smile played on his lips. "Good." As the days passed, we navigated this new space between us. Some moments felt easy, like laughing over old jokes or playing video games late into the night. Others felt heavier, when his hand would brush against mine and we both hesitated, unsure of what to do next. One night, he reached for my hand and held it longer than usual. "I don't want to lose this," he admitted. I squeezed his fingers gently. "You won't." Liam was still figuring things out, and I knew it wouldn't be easy. But for the first time, we weren't running from the truth, we were embracing it. Together. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Months passed, and what started as an uncertain exploration grew into something undeniable. We weren't just best friends anymore, we were something more. There were challenges, of course. Moments of doubt, of fear. But Liam never walked away. We took our time, built something real, and let ourselves be vulnerable. Looking back, I realized that love isn't always about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to ask the questions. Blank. Underscore. Blank. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story and want more heartfelt narratives, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Your support means everything, and we can't wait to bring you more stories that resonate with your heart. Until next time, remember, love always finds a way.